we are live at this time. So thank you so much once again for being here. It's amazing. Mark, here we are. It is the first Friday podcast where we can say next week our book is coming out. Can you believe that we're to this point, my friend?
I can't. Yes, it's hard to believe. I've been telling everyone, this dream. Had a dream to write a book for 15 years, and now finally it's coming to be. And just showing you that even if I can wait 15 minutes, 15 years to write a book, I'm sure you can probably write it in half that.
Absolutely. And what a journey it has been. We've been on this road now for several months, just with thinking through our messages that could really encourage people, not just to make them feel good, but for them to see the transformative power of encouragement. And I asked you to co-author this book with me because you encouraged me so much. Why do you think that people look at you as an encourager, Mark?
Well, it's a great question. I think it's a choice to be an encourager. We cannot speak for others, what they may do or think or not do. We have a power within ourselves to choose our attitude, to choose how we want to feel, how we want to act, how we want to treat others. And I feel that there's a mission that we have on this earth, and it's to help others and to really be a person of service. And I have done that over the years, being a youth pastor, traveler, Toastmaster, entrepreneur, and uncle. Cannot forget the uncle. And I'm just happy to support others. This is I live for it. I really do. And I also want to say, I wanted to write the book for so long. It's not until I met Nick and he said, yeah, let's write a book together. I said, yes, why not? It's going to take me another 15 years. So you saved me 15 years. It would have been 30.
There we go. Well, it's been amazing, but out of this book has birthed this amazing new group where we're dedicated to encouraging each other. And the private messages that kind of go on behind the scenes in that group, and just the stories that we're hearing now, know that people need to be encouraged. And so I really, really appreciate that you're willing to kind of cultivate, and form that intentional community of encouragers. The world needs this. And I think that's the resounding theme we have seen through this initiative, is that we're in a world that kind of puts people down all the time. We're in a world where it's always me, now, my. And, that's what I really wanted to address in this book, especially with the journey I was on, could have had such a bad ending. And if people hadn't encouraged me in my darkest days, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I never would have had the courage to give that TEDx talk that you coached me through. And, dreams wouldn't have been realized. Dreams I thought that I would never get to dream again if people hadn't encouraged me. And so I'm so thankful for you for partnering with me on this journey. And, what would you say is your favorite part of the book as we've gone through this whole process? What's your favorite part?
I think one of the ways that I see the way that it is now, of course, there's brilliant illustrations, which are part of this whole thing, and maybe we'll go into it. But it's about having the ability to sit down and write about your life experience, because you may think in your head, "Oh, this is what has happened. Oh, this is how I felt about it." Perhaps, but what if you have actually sit down and write about it? And I think what happens, your mind clarifies what actually happened, and then what has happened, you share this with the world, and the world gives you feedback. What about this? What about this? And then you're thinking, huh, how could I not see what was right in front of me? How can I not understand what was happening? And when you share from the place of vulnerability, this is what I have experienced. And if people give you feedback and you're thinking, huh, I'm now seeing much deeper into myself, into my own awareness. So this book is part of self-awareness, learning to get out of your head and into the world, and just open up your heart, open up your soul, and say, here I am. I no longer control this narrative. I just want to give it to the world and see what happens. Yeah. So that's my favorite part. And of course, you have to get the book to read more and to be entertained and hopefully inspired as well.
Absolutely. And, we're not just here celebrating by ourselves today. We have some very special people that are joining us. I'm going to remove our spotlights now because we want to spotlight other people that are on this journey of encouragement with us. And these are the folks that give us that daily encouragement to keep going. The ones that are our rooting section, our cheer section. And I am so thankful that they have agreed to be here with us today. So I would love to introduce them and, just thank them for being part of our journey. Wow, look at this amazing group of people. Isn't that fantastic?
It just makes me, it's a real celebration. It's so hard to get together now. Like, oh, people are in different towns, in different countries, right? Different continents. It's so amazing to see people faces and just hear. Yeah. So it truly is amazing. I don't take it for granted one bit.
No, and even yesterday when we pressed that button for publishing, our team was in 3 continents for this one project. That's just amazing. But thank you all for being here. I want to recognize, as we're going through here, we have Alan Liphart, who is one of my bosses. He's the pastor here at the World Golf Village Church, and he has had an opportunity to preview some of the book and everything. Pastor Alan, you're an encourager. What do you have to say about this project and about this group of people that want to see change in the world? Gonna ask you to unmute.
One of the things I like about the book is that it's easy to put into practice. You see the things, you hear or read the stories in there, and then you see the suggestions, and it's not big things. It's not world breaking things. It's the small things. Like this past week, I ventured out and decided to sing in my sermon, and a number of people came up to me and said, wow, you really have a beautiful voice, which has not always been what I'd heard in the past when I sang in sermons from certain people who would say, don't ever do that again. But this week, what I heard was, wow, that was really nice. We loved it. And so it's not always the big things. Sometimes it's just offering that small word of encouragement to somebody that for me was a big thing, but to them was not a very big thing. But I love that about the book, because I think the book comes across that way too. It's not some big thing that's going to be difficult to do. It makes it like we should all be doing this every day.
Absolutely. And our mutual friend, Mark, why don't we introduce Mr. Donald Tolson?
Thank you, Mark and Nick. I wanted to take this time out. I just wanted to just celebrate you both. A lot of people talk about doing something, sharing their dreams and sharing their vision, but to actually have someone and to know someone, my friends, my Toastmaster friends, and just friends in general, to step out and to do something that you have been dreaming of for many years. I think that is awesome. I can't wait to read the book. And Mark, we miss you. Nick, we miss and love you both. And you are family. So that's how I see it. So family, we rejoice when our family do great. We cry when they are sad. We are happy when they're happy. So we love you both. And I think it is so awesome what you both are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Donald. And how about our friend, and you never know what he's going to say. He keeps us on our toes. John Morrow, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Nick, I have only gotten to know you in the last 2 years. I've heard you play piano live, by the way. I remember when we had a talent gathering, and I believe that was not this past conference, but the conference before we had a talent show, and I enjoyed so much hearing you play. And I know that you played when you gave your TED Talk, and I was excited about that. But my connection to you actually comes by way of Mark, because I met Mark in 2014 at Winter Haven Toastmasters when they were meeting at the Winter Haven Airport. And there was something engaging and warm and pleasant and very humble and matter of fact, but authentic about this young man. And this young man actually embraced me as a friend and allowed me to come into his life. And I didn't have a clue when that process started that he and I would partner in so many different kinds of things. And much of what I'm doing today, having come out of retirement, especially since the passing of my wife just over 4 years ago, has been the result of his encouraging. The book that I have finished writing and is in the preparation process to be published is a direct result of his persistent prodding and encouragement on me. He got me to start writing it. He simply said, begin with the page. And I started with a page, and everything started to flow. And like you were saying earlier, the whole idea of how it happened, the whole incredible inspiration of putting that on paper and how it happened, that inspiration does not escape me. That's why this, to me, and having heard Mark give speeches, including his TED Talk in Eustis, which was exactly about encouragement when he was talking about his little brother, an incredible continuation of a thematic element that is so powerful and so desperately needed in our world today. So to both of you, and also to that incredibly gifted artist who is doing your illustrations and your cover for you, who happens to be from the Philippines, and my daughter-in-law is from the Philippines as well. To her, I also salute. I wish she could be with us as well, because I think the world needs to meet this incredibly gifted young lady. But Mark, Nick, I say this completely and with absolute unashamedness. I love you guys. I love you guys desperately. And you are my friends. And I thank God that these are the kinds of people that I can wake up and know that I can call out and reach out to. And Mark just yesterday reached out to me by WhatsApp and brought me tremendous encouragement. He encourages me every time I see his face.
Thank you so much, John. And you are an inspiration and an encouragement, and we're so glad you're feeling better as well. As we continue to go through, folks, Mark, I introduced a few folks. Do you want to take over here? Maybe get to know some new friends?
Sure.
I encourage you to do that.
Okay. All right. Thanks, John, by the way. I feel the love. It makes me feel good. And I feel the same way about you, my friend. That's 100%. Let me introduce my dear friend, Pim. Pim, would you be able to say a couple words about this, project, and you've been following along in the book writing, and just tell us what encouragement mean to you? Yeah.
Yes, thank you for having me. I have been a big fan of both of you for a long time. Mark, I was there when you won your international speech contest, and I was been following around since. And Nick, we met behind bar, and it's so inspiring for everything that's happening to you, especially with the Storm Foundation, how that came about and how big it's growing now. So you both are an inspiration to me. And as far as encouragement, when I took on the leadership position in the district, as someone with English as second language, it was very challenging. But all of you, all of my Toastmasters friend has been very encouraging and allow me to complete my term successfully. So I could not have been where I am today without all the encouragement from all my friends, my supervisors, my family. And I cannot wait to read the book. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Pam.
much.
And you know, encouragement doesn't really cost that much, right? It just you just do it. You just do it. You do it. You don't overthink it. You just do it. You give it. You share it, and you move on, right? You have so many beautiful faces here. I don't know, who should I ask to speak next? I don't know. How about Virginia? Virginia, welcome. Tell us where you're from and how did you end up here today, and about encouragement. Sure.
Thank you, Mark. Friends, I'm here today from sunny Florida because I met Mark through Toastmasters. And Mark was like that ray of light that's behind me right now, coming in through the front windows. He shared his encouragement with not only me, but with all of my friends. He leads by example. And that light that he shines upon all of us is like a gift from God, because encouragement is a form of enlightenment. And the word I want to share with you is new enlightenment. And that's what all of you are bringing to us today. If we could take one moment in our life, think about it, and find a way to where we put a smile on someone's face each day, to pass on a kind word, to share a hug, a smile, to share a loving thought with someone in need, then we can honestly say we've had a banner day. That's the way I feel Mark chooses to live his life. And in meeting Nicholas today, and Pastor Alan and John and Pam and all of you, we can tell one thing's certain: birds of a feather do fly together. And it's so nice to be with all of you. And I look forward to sharing many happy moments of encouragement, faith, and love with all of you. So thank you from my heart to yours for having me here today. Back to you, Mark.
Wow, Virginia, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in months, but you're just amazing. And also, Virginia, part of my improv class that I hold online for quite a long time, and she is the best improviser, one of the best that I've seen. She always cracks me out. Just amazing participant, and I so value your presence in my life. So anyone else like to just jump in and say hello? Here I am. Here's what I think about encouragement, or perhaps something that you would like to share about encouragement. I'm open to it. It was Nick's blessing. We just open it up and just go. We don't have,
Maybe Greg. Oh, okay. Carol. Hi, Carol. Please.
Let me lower this.
We have two Carols. So we have two Carols. Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carol, and I met Mark about a year ago, and he has been a coach for me and has just, encouragement also for me is about lifting people up. Sometimes it means standing in a gap for them, standing between their doubt and their power. And Mark has done that for me. And when I knew I had the ability to engage my goals, Mark he stood in the gap for me. He closed that gap and helped me make that leap from doubt to the power and being empowered. So I'm very grateful. Thank you for inviting me here today to hear about what you've been able to achieve, and congratulate all of you. And I do have to excuse myself now, but thank you so much for allowing me to be here. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Carol. And Carol coming to us from Nevada, from Las Vegas. Thanks for getting up early.
Yeah, very, very early. I also would love to welcome Jim and Jean Brissy. Pastor Jim has written several books, and just it's a blessing to have him here today. He and his wife also are the founders of Higher Ground Ministries in DeLand, Florida, and the Higher Ground School of Ministry. So big welcome to them. Gonna ask you to unmute. There we go.
Thank you very much, Mark. And it's Nick, and it's very nice to meet you, Mark, as well. We've heard a lot about you. We've so enjoyed the ministry and friendship that God has blessed us with Nick, and the art of encouragement is just a supernatural extension of that testimony. And I praise God for that. One of my favorite scriptures is found in Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 1 and verse 11, where Paul says, I wish to come to you to impart some spiritual gift, which is the mutual encouragement of our faith. And I so find it true how contagious encouragement is. And I praise God for your lives and for your testimony and for God's hand of blessing on the art of encouragement. To answer one of your questions from earlier, Nick, I especially enjoyed chapter 6, where you share your testimony and the encouragement you received from Chaplain David Miller. I often say a person with a testimony is never at the mercy of a person with an argument. So I just love to hear personal testimonies that are authentic and Christ-centered. And I just so appreciated what you shared about Chaplain Miller and the encouragement you received back at Putnam, because I've seen glimpses of that for many, many years. And so now we can enjoy some of the fruit of that in seeing this wonderful book and this wonderful project come forth. So very nice to meet you over the phone, Mark, as well as all of the family members here of this wonderful encouragement community. God bless you. We'll see you in our prayers. Jean, would you like to share something?
Hey guys, I want to congratulate you for birthing your book. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. Read it all yesterday. And we know how hard, people that haven't written a book do not know how hard it is to write a book. And so the birthing of your book is wonderful. In a world of this epidemic of selfishness, I think, where people don't not even interested to ask any questions of anyone, never mind, encouraging anyone. The book really will help many people. I know that it absolutely will. Thanks. to the enlightenment of what one little word will bring to someone. And as I was reading the book, I was remembering a story of one of our granddaughters was in a play, and she was just, all the attention was on her. And her little sister was like, you could see her like deflating like a wilted flower. And so, her sister was getting all this attention, and I brought her out into the porch, and she had her head down, and I said to her, Gina, you are a star. And I saw her, she bloomed like a rose opening up, and it was so powerful. And I was raised in a family where you weren't supposed to compliment us kids or give us any kind of encouragement, because then we might be prideful. So I didn't even know what a good positive word of encouragement, was. And so it's a powerful thing. Thank you for writing the book. It'll touch many lives.
We love you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I have to say, all of you are amazing, but someone logged on right now that is mentioned in the book. His name is Jim Allred. And without him, that prison music theory class never would have been possible. He was yes. So I'm so thankful for him kind of brought tears to my eyes. So glad that he is here today. Thank you, Jim.
Well, luckily I had a doctor's appointment today and the doctor is running late. So I said, I better jump on while I've got a chance here. And as doctor, as you know, the reason why we're called patients is because we need to be patient. So I don't anticipate her walking in the next 5 minutes, but I just wanted to jump on and congratulate you on the book and all you've done. I'll never forget the first time I met you, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but it's kind of like accidentally stepping on the seed and pushing it into the ground and then seeing something marvelous sprout up, because what little bit I did was very insignificant in its own, but the credit goes to Nick and the glory goes to God. So.
Amen. These music theory books, Jim, you're the one that found the ones that I still teach with today. And I know it's kind of, but you made an impact on my life and on the lives of so many other people. So thank you.
Well, again, the truth of the matter is I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. My big contribution to this was materialistic in a sort, because I provided some resources, but I've not yet had a chance to read the book, Nick, but I do know that there was just a tiny little bit of encouragement in my process, and that I saw, well, this would be much better if we actually had notebooks to work with, and this would be a little bit better if we actually had pencils to write with, and it would be just a little bit better if we had composition books to take notes in. And again, that was the encouragement that I did. Is I didn't know that I had any kind of great moral or mental or music, obviously no music theory, because I actually originally was sitting in the class and trying to pick up on it, and I found out that there is an adage that is true. You can't teach some dogs new tricks, because I sat there trying to learn music. I play the guitar by chords, but it was over my head, and the fact that Nick was able to get these hard cases and Putnam to take notes and learn, it was amazing to witness. So again, a little bit of encouragement, but again, a lot of it's just having to be at the right place at the right time. And I tell my grandkids a lot of times, when they see us give a hand up, I call it, to somebody that's homeless, and they said, well, they're just probably going to go buy some whiskey. And I said, well, that's between them and God. But, this $10 or this $5 or this $2 may be the one piece of encouragement in their life that needs them to make the next step. So that's kind of how I look at it. And I appreciate the invitation, and
thank you.
I'll shut up now.
Hope your appointment goes well, my friend. And thank you again for being here. Made my day.
Well, my blood pressure was 124/73, so that's the first part of it's done pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few more folks on here, and I do not want to miss them. I see Gina, I see Greg, I see Francine. So would you guys go ahead? Greg, you're up in Ohio. Go ahead and say Ohio.
Ohio. And in 1 minute Toastmaster fashion, I know Jim already. I know Jim and Jean Brisky from Higher Ground Christian Ministry. I'm a Toastmaster with Nick from Palatka, Florida, and in a new charter club starting August 1st, right there in the rural Gulf Village. I know Alan Liphart, but I've not met Mark. Mark, so nice to meet you. Thank you both for inviting me to be a part. I'm encouraged by the encouragers and how they're like Jesus to encourage us all to let me see a snapshot from many years ago, 6 years ago, the first time I met Jim and Jean Brissy through Higher Ground. And the first time me and Nick did a speech kind of in the club as a competition and I lost. He rolled out an upright piano and we had to do a demonstration speech and I did a Kirby vacuum ad lib. It was hilarious and the place was rocking. Then here comes the chubby guy with a beard. He rolls an upright piano out and he says, you know, things are not as they appear. Takes the piano coverings off, plays it like a harp. As a music minister he is, unknown to me in the world, slaps it together, walks over. Here's the encouragement. He said, Greg, you hit all the points. You did a nice job. But he won. And that taught me many things about him as I would know in relationship in the years to come. Do with what I got. He's maximizing with what he's got. Mark, you clearly are too with your giftedness of writing. What I've seen from the book so far is the title and the cover. Going to buy it, can't wait to read it. But I love that, and I'll speak to this and I'm out here. The art of encouragement. It's just that. Whatever you do, find with your hand, the Bible says, do with all your might. And God's pleased. And all the people I've just mentioned, I know and have met and have changed my life exponentially. But that's for my podcast when I write my book of Living Past Depravity. And I'm working on it now with Nick and people helping me. So thanks and good luck to you, man. It's exciting. It's exciting. It's good to you. Thanks.
Francine, one of my favorite people. She is like a butterfly. She is a sunshiny day every time I meet her and see her. She encourages. Please tell me more.
Somebody said it only takes one word. And I got that word today. Before we went live, I heard someone say, Daddy. And for those of you who haven't heard, I did a speech in the speech contest, and that's just one word I said throughout the speech. And it's so encouraging every time someone walks up to me in a crowd and says, Daddy, because that tells me it was like the moment when Sally Field at the Academy Awards says, they really like me. So every time somebody says that they enjoyed my speech, that I made them laugh, that they love my voices, it gives me encouragement. I'm almost done writing my second book, and I was talking about it in a speech during a meeting. And I hear from the back of the crowd, do the voices, do the voices. That's encouragement. They really like me. And I'm not going to talk about me anymore because this is really about Nick and Mark, but I wanted to tell Mark something special that he probably doesn't even know yet. Mark started promoting my first book before I had the confidence to do it myself. That's encouragement, and I am going to turn it back over to you. Thank you.
And Gina, I would love to meet you.
Hello, Nick. Nice to meet you. I'm a
you too.
Toastmaster and I've known Mark for years. This is a book I can't wait to read and I can't wait to share. I work 6 months out of the year, and 6 months out of the year, I'm off to travel and do housework and other things. So the past 3 months, I've been visiting lots of family and friends. And what that has reinforced to me is that adage that you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. I need encouragers. So many of the people that I'm surrounded with, my family, my friends, they're hurting, they're going through rough times. And I love to be there for them. And it's depleting if I don't have somebody filling up my cup. I am a woman of faith and I get a lot of support and strength through that, but it's really important to surround ourselves with encouragers. Mark has always been there for me that way. Even if it's just on Facebook, a little comment here or there. I can't wait to read the book. I can't wait to share it. Nick, you found a wonderful partner. I know many of you here, and I look forward to getting to know the rest of you better. I'm in Deltona, so I'm going to come and seek out Higher Ground.
Great. And that's what it's all about, encouraging connections. Now, have we missed anyone that would like to come on the air? I know we've got a few folks that are off camera. Would anyone like to just chime in and say a hello or pop on the screen really quickly? Because we still have one final huge announcement before we get off of here, but I want to give everyone else a chance to say hello because we love you guys and we are so thankful you're supporting us today. So anyone else want to say hello? Go ahead. Going once, going twice. And here's our big announcement, Mark.
Thank you, Nick. We love you all. And another big announcement is our book is available for purchase today. We thought it's going to be available on August 1st, but it just went live early this morning. Amazon has approved it, has went through the checking the issues, the quality, and everything was just approved, and it's available, it's live. And of course, we would like for everyone to purchase it today. Now, if you can, we can put a link here in the chat, and depending on your Prime account, you can get it tomorrow, delivered to your home. That's depending, what kind of Prime membership you have with Amazon, or you can get it later by Monday, or Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday of next week. So we'd love to put this book in your hands so you can get it, you can write notes, you can share it, you can keep it as a treasured piece of art in your home, because the art is truly amazing. The artists put our essence into drawings, and I hope you really enjoy it. And of course, there's a lot of heart-to-heart revelations in that book. We're really speaking from the heart. We opening up. Some things are not pretty, some things are not polished, but it's all true. And we would like for you to have the book. Absolutely. And I can put the link in the chat, or Nick can.
Wonderful. Yeah, we will go ahead and do that. And the amazing thing is, when you purchase the book, Amazon will allow you to then add your review. And we would love, even if you read someone else's copy and you have a review of it, if you want to send that to us, that will help us share with other people, perspectives other than our own as people journeyed through the book. Again, the book is only 70 pages. It is intended for an afternoon beach read, a day when you just need a bit of encouragement and you don't want to get discouraged because you didn't read it all. You know what I mean there. We were very intentional about the layout as well as the length. So, and I see Fred wrote to you, Mark, there in the chat. Oh, Francine just ordered. Wow, we've got our first order. Yay. So that's what it's about, guys.
Francine, you are on top of it. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
I put the link for Amazon. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for being here. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions for us before we wrap up today?
Nick, I'd like to just offer that I read the book at one sitting, but I would really suggest people read a chapter a day and put into practice what that chapter was, and let that chapter just really engulf them and fill them before moving on to the next chapter. I really felt like after I read it, I thought, gosh, I wish I had slowed this down and taken it in. So the good news is I got to buy a book so I can go back and read it a chapter at a time. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Pastor Allen. That's so kind of you and gracious.
And hey, Fred says his will be here Sunday. John just ordered his. So wow, this is happening, guys. And Pastor Allen, absolutely. We want this to be a resource that people go to over and over. When you feel like you keep giving, kind of like we were hearing earlier from our friend Jim, that encouraged me so much. Sometimes we give, and people might take advantage. People might hurt us. People might lie to us. But does that mean we stop? because we know that the world needs love, the world needs hope, the world needs peace, and the world needs you, because if you're drawn to this book, that means you are an encourager. That means that the title resonated with you and you have a special calling in place to encourage those around you. Please become active in our group, The Art of Encouragement, because we don't want this to stop with a book. We want this to be something that continues on, where we learn to encourage people actively. And so please join that Facebook group. Please connect with us. And John has his hand raised. Yes, sir.
Here's my next challenge.
Next challenge.
Now that I have obtained a physical copy of the book, my next mission is not just to get you to sign it, Nick, but to find a way to go to Russia and get Mark to sign it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or perhaps we can meet in a different place as well. Maybe in Japan, or maybe in New Zealand. Maybe I'll meet you there. Who knows? Who knows? Let's keep our vision, because we can meet in other countries and travel the world, which I am doing right now.
Wow.
Thank you, everyone who has purchased the book, and it's I hope it's a great experience.
Virginia and Donald, fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. This has been a wonderful morning. I have tears, as you can see here, tears of joy and thankfulness. And that's what life's all about. So, Mark, kudos to you, my friend. You called me author earlier. And so again, author guy here. So we did it. We did it. And here, let's keep doing it. Let's keep encouraging the world, because the world needs hope, because they are worth it. There is value in every person God has created. And let's help people reach their full potential, because they can be bigger than any fear they have, any challenge they've had. They can do it if enough people encourage them. So let's all be hope bearers and hope heroes today, as my friend Michelle says. Thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone who spoke.
Please share. Share this experience, share this podcast with others on Facebook, and share the link to the book. We would love for it to be a bestseller, but more than that, we would love to get it in the hands of those that will encourage other people. So
thank you.
And
thank you, Anshu, as well. She said she would be willing to share it with her community in the link. Thank you for your kindness and your grace, and everyone who came. It's truly a celebration. I never thought this would happen, but I had to travel the world for this to happen. Why didn't I do it before? It just shows you the timing. If it's the right time, the right place, the right opportunity, it will happen. Sometimes you don't have to force it, but you just have to be available and be present. And I am so happy. I'm so happy. I mean, truly, I'm like on cloud 9 all day when I received this message from Amazon. Your book is live. It's ready to be purchased. Oh, really? I didn't expect it for the next 3 days. Okay. That was so great.
Wow. Well, let's get the word out there, guys. Help us. Thank you, Pim. Thank you, John. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Francine. Thank you, Pastor Jim, Pastor Gene. Thank you, Gina, Virginia, Donald, and of course, Mark, and anyone else joining that I don't see their name. We appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.